Well, good morning, beautiful people. Good morning, good morning, good morning. This is the day the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it. I am Coach Ricardo Miller, and I'm joined with two incredible gentlemen as we dive into a conversation this morning that's going to be great. Now, Dr. Levette may be joining us in a few minutes, but until then, we are going to have a great time. And so this morning, I want to remind you guys that greater is He that is in us than he that is in the world. And so God has a plan for all of us, and the way we show up really does matter. So this morning, Deacon Dan, we're talking this morning on a subject about respect. But before we dive in, let's do this a little bit different. Let's pray for Build Your Best Life. Let's pray for mothers with sons. Let's pray for our young men. Deacon Dan, can you do us a favor and open us up with a word of prayer?
Sure. Let's go to prayer. Father, we just thank you for this day. We thank you for life, health, and strength. Now, God, we just ask you to continue to bless and guide Build Your Best Life. Give it what it needs as we journey and try to help young men, single mothers. Give us directions that we need to go. Cover us and just keep us on the right track. More than all, Father, we just thank you for everything that you're doing with Build Your Best Life. We thank you for the participant here this morning with the guys. Continue to bless them and their family. Now we ask you to cover this topic we got today, that it be pleasing in your eyesight. But more than all, let somebody hear it today, Father God, and they could take it and run with it. So we're going to thank you for what you want to do. We thank you for all the blessings, all the givings. We just thank you for everything that you're doing in our life. And we just thank you. We give you all the praise and uplift your name. Amen.
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 Well, you know, Deacon Dan, the challenge for us today as we talk about this subject, one that is so important. I want to see how many of you this morning, how many of you, I want you to literally think about the term respect. I want you to think about the term respect. And so we have Dr. Levette, we have Coach Dr. Wilborn, and we have Deacon Dan joining us this morning. And we're going to talk about this. We are going to talk about this. So with that said, let me bring these gentlemen on because I am excited. I'm excited. Dr. Levette, how are you doing this morning, sir? Go ahead and just jump right into this talk and introduce yourself and tell us what's going on. Are you still a Floridian? I need to know.
No, I am actually a North Carolinian. I'm back a North Carolinian from the home state and back in my home state. So, yes, and that's part of why I was running a little tight on time because I was trying to two things. I was having my computer didn't want to act right, and I had to do a total restart.
Oh man!
And I couldn't find my shirt. So, but other than that, yeah, it's been a good transition though. I can't complain about it at all. In a way, it's good to be home. It's good to be home. As you know, I'm from North Carolina, so I'm right down the road from Greensboro. So now I've moved to North Carolina and currently now pastoring a church in Virginia.
Okay.
So,
good stuff. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And it's been quite a task, but I'm enjoying it though. I'm really enjoying it.
Excellent. New season. Dr. Wilborn, tell us a little bit about what you've been up to lately. It's so good to have you joining us this morning.
Oh man, I just been out here, man. I'm still out here coaching, man. You know, I'm still the high school coach over here, Southern Maryland Christian out here in White Plains, you know, high school, you know, the boys and girls, you know, track and field. Of course, you know, I am a athletic coach. I'm a author. I'm also a military veteran of 24 years and an educator. And, you know, I have three sons, you know, and they're not young anymore. You know, I got a 40-year-old now. So so I'm getting up there, you know, I had a 29, 40 and one going on 19. So, You know, I love being in these conversations and stuff like that because I do have young men. And I feel like, you know, what I've been through, you know, being a coach and having young men, you know, I feel like, you know, I can put my little 2 cents in and, you know, help somebody out. You know what I'm saying? So, and I've been married, you know, it'll be 30 years in May.
Wow.
30 years in May to Chris Wilbon, the beautiful Chris Wilbon. So
Nice.
I'm ready to jump in, man, and do some things, man. And I'm just glad to be here, man. It feels like old times, man. Feel like a reunion.
You know, tonight, this morning, we're joined with 4 gentlemen. We've been doing this for a while. Derek is not with us this morning, but Derek will be back possibly next month. He's been busy doing some great things, and he'll bring us all up to date on what he has going on. But we're so grateful for Coach Deborah and this platform that focuses on building your best life, more specifically for young men. If you have not gotten your copy of this book yet, please get your copy. Look at, hey, Doctor Wilbon, look at that. I'm seeing it, man. Come on, let's all put it out there. Let's all put it out right there. There you go.
Let's get it.
I love it. I love it. Deacon Dan, tell us a little bit about yourself. You have your book right there. You're married to the founder of Build Your Best Life. Tell our viewing audience, for somebody who's watching for the very first time.
Well, I'm Deacon Dan Smith, married to the lovely Coach Deborah D. Smith. We have 4 kids. I'm gonna have to say, Wilbon say 40. Our oldest is 50.
Wow.
Yeah, he's turned 50. So we down like 3 years apart on three of them.
Right.
But anyway, they're all doing well. I have been working in the community, working with different people, the young men's, and trying to keep them straight. It's a funny little thing. The young lady, I was coming through the hall at church, and one of them, she always called me Uncle Dan. She didn't know me about 3 years old. She said, Uncle Dan, this boy here keep hitting people. So I looked at him. I said, come here. I said, well, now you hit somebody else. You're going to deal with Deacon Dan. You understand that? He said, yes, sir. I said, but anyway, I've been, I've been doing different things. Been retired now 11 years. 1st of February, I've been out 11 years, but I'm still has my lawn service, my handyman service, and they call me whatever service people call me for. I try to assist them, but it's been a great journey. I enjoy these guys. We took a vacation last month, but we're back.
Good stuff. Well, this morning we're diving into the talk on respect. I just want to shake this up a little bit because I'm curious. I'm going to start off with Coach Wilbon, and he talks about being a coach and dealing with young people, and have done it for so long, and then serve in the military and raised boys and have been married for 30 years. Man, the term respect has, because women see respect different. Young people see respect different. The military established respect as a particular way. I mean, come on, Coach Wilbon, talk to us.
Oh, respect, man. That's like a one of those signs that can go east, west, north, south.
Yeah.
Because I mean, you can put all kind of spin on respect. You know what I'm saying? Everybody views respect differently.
Yeah.
Like you were saying, as far as the military, being married, dealing with kids and the whole 9 yards, if you was to ask them about respect, I guarantee each one of them will come up with a different, answer for you. But as far as I'm concerned, I think respect is, something that should be automatically given. I think that, as a courtesy, because of it, you being human or whatever, and I was raised like that. Always respect. And it's not even just about respecting your elders, because that's the first thing that come out of somebody's mouth. Hey, always respect your elders. But I think you should always respect the person that you're talking to as well, not just your elders. You know what I'm saying? So, I believe, when you're listening to people, without interrupting them, letting them talk or whatever, value, their opinions, depending on what you're talking about, and acknowledging, different boundaries and stuff like that with people. Then that's where you get that respect from. That's how I feel about, respect.
when with you saying that, I'm thinking, Deacon Dan, you've been in law enforcement. You've been an established voice in church for a long time. You're married. You've raised boys. The view, respect. What comes to mind?
To me, respect is a positive feeling in someone or something. It's a deep admiration, esteem, or desire. Required often based on their abilities. But I look at it as it's one thing about I like about respect. Respect influence reputation and relationship.
Yeah.
But more than all, it's also opportunities in leadership.
Yeah.
So I look at respect as, I can, okay, let me translate. Like in law enforcement, where we're in rank, you can look at like I have a lieutenant. Well, okay, when I had a lieutenant, I had respect him as a lieutenant. But then again, I didn't respect him as a person.
Wow.
Because of his dislikes of blacks, him being prejudiced or whatever. But that's something that I'll say you might have to respect authority in the same way as we as in law enforcement, a person's supposed to respect authority, but that's not happening no more. We're out there working with the community, our lives on the line, but people don't respect us, not like they used to.
Wow. Dr. Levette, you've served, and you've served. And in every capacity you've served, you've dealt with being respected and being asked to give some form of respect. Let's hear your views.
Well, when I look at that word respect, and these gentlemen covered it pretty well and took a little half of my answers anyway. But what I get out of respect is having high regard for someone. Mm-hmm. You regard them, and when I say regard means you regard their feelings, you regard, their boundaries, you regard, things about them, and you hold that in high regard, meaning you don't cross that line. It's like when you build a friendship, you build a real close friendship with someone, you build that friendship off of mutual respect. You respect each other, and that's how you build the relationship, because you have that respect for one another. You regard each other. So if Deacon Dan is my friend, so if I see him going through something, I respect him enough to ask him, but I also respect him enough if he say, well, I don't want to talk about it right now. Mm-hmm. So that's how respect got to be. You got to regard that person's feelings. You got to regard their boundaries. If they say, hey, I don't want to talk about it right now, you respect that. Because most times if they're a close friend, when the time is right, they're going to come to you and say, hey, okay, I'm ready to talk about it now. Or it's gotten to the point where they trust you enough to come to you. They respect you enough to come back to you and say, okay, yeah, I need to talk to you because I trust you. I respect you. I hold you in high regard. Because I'm not going to go to anybody I don't hold no high regard to. And then one other last thing I want to hit right there is that, when I go back to my military career, and Deacon Dan hit it from the law enforcement perspective, but if I can hit it from the military perspective, and I know Coach Dr. Wilborn can attest to this, there were many times in the military that I came across leaders that I did not respect. But I had to respect their position. I had to respect their rank. I had to respect their title, what position they hold in the company, the unit, brigade, division. And it was because I didn't hold them in high regard because of things that they did. Either they was manipulative, either they lied, either they was untruthful about many things. They didn't know their job, and they didn't want nobody to help them to know their job, because as NCOs, we was considered the worker bees. We know the job, but you would get officers sometimes it would be officers, sometimes it'd be other seniors NCOs that would try to, they would just use their rank the power over you, instead of you taking your experience and your advice on what you've been already accustomed to and that you knew. So that's kind of my take on respect.
Gentlemen, I love it. We about to shake this up. I'm gonna shake it up on y'all now, because y'all know y'all been on vacation. Y'all been on vacation. So, Dr. Wilbon, the term "you gonna respect me." How? And I want the rest of you gonna answer that. I want to hear how you guys answer that. Right or wrong? Should it ever be stated, "You are going to respect me"? What's your view on that statement coming from somebody adamant like that? Because you've lived long enough, you've served distinguishedly on so many fronts. That statement must have been heard before, or may have even been expressed by you, right? And so I'm looking forward to hearing the other two gentlemen after you. But tell us the term, "You are going to respect me."
Well, I'm gonna tell you something right then and there. As soon as you say you're gonna respect me, it's all out the window.
Okay.
I'm gonna respect you. First of all, you're not gonna tell me what I'm gonna do anyway. That's the first thing. That's the first thing. But if you come off to me like that, all respect is already out the window. But first of all, you don't address me like that, and you don't talk to me like that. If you want respect, you got to give respect. And when you give him respect, you don't talk to people like that, whether it's a child, whether it's a grown-up, a woman, or a man. You don't come out like that. You gonna respect me. You know what I'm saying? So, yes, I've heard that before. I actually heard that in the military. I actually heard that in the military because I was a lowly private. And believe it or not, it was a black guy that told me that. It was a sergeant that told me that. No, you gonna respect me. So my thing is, just like Dr. Levesque said, I had to respect his position. I had to respect his rank. But as a man, personally, I did not respect him at all, to come off at me like that. So if you want to get respect from people, first of all, you don't talk like that to people.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so good. So, Deacon Darren, what do you have to say? You are going to respect me. I know you've heard it before, or probably even said it. Go ahead.
Well, when they first said that, it put a bad taste in my mouth.
Okay. Yeah.
And the words that I wanted to come out with, I had to hold them within.
Yeah.
Because, you got to earn respect. You just can't come out and tell me you going to respect me. Well, I respect your authority, your rank, or whatever. But for as you, no, that don't work with me, and that's not going to settle with me. If you're in a leadership role, you got to be able to show respect for who you're leading.
Yeah, that's true.
You just can't come and tell them you're going to respect me.
Yeah,
and that's my take on that, because it's not right to just say you're going to respect me. You got to earn respect. I don't care what you do, how you do it, whatever. I can respect the rank, I respect the office, but for as a person concerned, hey, no.
Dr. Levesque, add to it, sir. Add to it.
So when I saw this question, I said, I thought about this question. Well, hearing you say it the way here you reframe it, but when this is a question that says, I'm demanding, like you're putting a demand on me to. So already it go back to what the other gentleman saying. If you put a demand on me, then now I have the choice. I have the choice whether I want to receive it or not. And then it brings me to a particular scripture in the Bible: to whom much is given, much is required.
Yeah.
So that means if you're not giving me no respect, because you saying it to me like that, you're not giving me no respect. Yeah. So if you're not, so you ain't giving it to me, so you shouldn't expect to require it. I'm not giving you nothing. I'm not going to give you nothing that you haven't already earned, or you haven't even gotten. You haven't even given. Why should I give you something that you haven't given me from the beginning? If you ask that question in a different, if you say that in a different way, hey, I would like to earn your respect or something like that, then we can talk. But when you come off on me and say, you're going to respect me, like these gentlemen said, you turned me off right there. I've already turned the button off on you. Mm-hmm. So the only thing that's going to help you then is you're going to have to ask for forgiveness. And then it's going to take a different process for me in order for me to respect you.
Go for gentlemen, thank you so much. We have some young men watching us. I'm going to throw this out there. And I'm going to ask Deacon Dan to start us off with this. We have some young men who are watching, and the term respect, maybe they're growing up in a home where there is no father. There is no man to sit them down and say, son, you gotta respect your elders. You gotta respect yourself. You gotta respect the privacy or the rules of conduct and so forth. What do you say to the young man who the term respect is being said frequently, but the term respect has not been taught to be understood? What do you say to that young man, Deacon Dan, about understanding the role of respect moving forward?
Well, first, I'll sit down and talk with him and let him know. Let me ask you a question. Do you respect yourself?
Mm-hmm.
You know, and if he tells me yes or no, maybe tell me yes. Okay, well, if you respect yourself, you understand you got to respect others. So how can you respect yourself if you don't respect others? You know, there's a two-way street.
Right. Yeah.
You know, there's a two-way street. And then, even when with the I take like my dad, he was working a lot, but mom always say, as Coach Whipper said, respect your elders. But they always say respect yourself too. And you go a long ways. So that's one of the things I have to say. You respect yourself. And then if you got a conflict and you need to still respect that person, but you need to move in the direction that you're trying to achieve without letting that interfere with where you're trying to go.
Good. That's good. Deacon, Dr. Levette, what do you say to this young person who's watching right now?
I say, and I'm a kind of piggyback off of what Deacon Dan, I keep wanting to call him Dr. Dan, but that's what I always call him anyway. But I'm going to piggyback off of what he said. A lot of times, reason kids, particularly young men, don't understand the word respect is because they don't have that. See, part of respect is having esteem, and that's self-esteem. And if they don't have no self-esteem, I feel their own worth, then sometimes that's why they want respect no one else. And when you're teaching, in order to teach young men how to respect their elders and respect their teachers and respect, then you have to first see where they are. See how they understand the word respect. What does it mean to you? Because if you don't know what that word mean, then you just doing it because the way I've done it before is I related it to what they like. I looked at they like, one of the guys, he said, well, I said, who your favorite basketball player? He said, Kobe Bryant. I said, okay, Kobe Bryant, you respect Kobe Bryant. He said, well, I don't, it ain't that I don't respect him. I said, no, you respect him because you admire him. Yeah. Part of respect is having an admiration for people. So if you admire Kobe Bryant, you respect him. I said, if you was to meet Kobe Bryant, what would you do? He said, I'd walk up and shake his hand and get his autograph and talk to him and all that. I said, well, that's what respect is. Kobe Bryant has gained your respect because he's a professional basketball player you love to see play. I said the same thing is when you respect your elders in school, your teachers are the same thing because they're guiding your educational growth. They're guiding your educational development. So you got to have that same level of respect for them. You got to have respect for your aunties and your uncles. You got to have respect for those that have authority over you. But how you have respect for them is you admire the good qualities you see in them. You admire the qualities that's important to you. And that's how, but it all starts with them understanding what respect is. So I think we have to really give them that definition of respect, and then from that definition, build on that, and then now they have an understanding, and sometimes they'll respond. This kid responded in a better way once he understood what respect was.
Come on, Coach Wilborn, what do you say?
I would say, pretty much what both of those gentlemen just said, but I would sit down with the young man to find out, do he know what respect is? Does he understand the word respect? Do he understand what comes out of respect? Does he understand what he must do in order to get that respect and in order to give respect? So a lot of people, like I said before, everybody has a different meaning of respect. A lot of people, they may carry it a different way. They may talk about it a different way. They may receive it a different way. So if the young man is listening to me now, I would actually sit down with him and ask him, do you understand the word respect? What does respect means to you? And then I would get, whatever, he puts out, and I'll see where we go from there, because this young man may know what respect is, even though he comes up in a single family home or whatever. Because you do have a lot of single family home young men, that comes from a great one family home, that does just as good as coming from a 2-family home. Right. So, so kudos to, the ones that, that does have that type of upbringing or whatever. But like Coach, so I was getting ready to call him Coach Dan, but Dr. Dan and Dr. Levette, like they're saying, I would have to, see exactly where they are, with that word respect, and see, and then we'll go from there. We'll see how things go from there. But, like I said, respect is like a big map, man. I mean, it can go a whole lot of different ways. A lot of people can receive it a different way. A lot of people give it a different way. So we have to see.
I love it. I love it. We're going to do this a little bit different in this last half of our show. I want to hear what you want to bring to the show today that you don't want to leave when it comes to, you don't want to leave this show ending not having said this. So we're going to start off with Dr. Levette. When you think about this term, respect given, earned, and lost, if anything has to be said, when you thought about this talk this morning, you said, I have to plug this in. And I'm going to go to each person, and it may be different. But at the end of the day, this needs to be said. This needs to be understood. What do you say, Dr. Levette?
Well, I would say the first thing I would say is that we also have to understand environments. As an adult, if we're trying to teach kids respect, we have to first understand their environment, because that's going to sometimes predicate the approach that I bring to a young man. Because if they come from a poverty-stricken neighborhood, it's a lot of crime, a lot of things going on, then they see respect a different way. They see respect is, I gotta respect the kingpin, the drug dealer. I gotta respect, this guy who carry a gun all the time. They think that's a means of respect. And then, but if I go into another neighborhood where it's a really nice neighborhood, it's a, subdivision, they got gates and all of that. And I talk to a young man, and I'm talking a same type young man. And I go in there and I talk to them about respect. They've learned respect from a different perspective. They've learned respect because, one, they pattern certain actions of their parents. They've seen their parents respect, their workers, their co-workers, even their own, if they had employees, they see how they treated their employees. So when you start off, we gotta understand that. We got to understand the environment from which they coming, because if you don't understand their environment, you're not going to understand their level of respect and how they view that word respect. So I would want them to know, I want to meet you where you at. I want to meet you wherever you at, and so I can now know how I got to explain this to you so it'll better make sense what the real word respect means, because a lot of people use the word respect as a badge of honor, and it's not. It's more it's a thing that's earned. When you earn respect, you earn respect. Once you earn respect, a lot of times it gives you a better perspective on how to give respect. And because a lot of times people are going to give respect based off of what they learn or what they learned about respect. So it's up to us to make sure we understand where they're coming from so we can better make them understand respect, because respect is going to change at different levels of their life, from the time they're a child to the time they're a teenager, because once they're adult, they can say what they want to say, basically. So we have to, if they got enough in them by the time they're an adult, then they'll be able to move forward.
So good. Deacon Dan, what do you want to make sure is said? Because I know you from Deacon Dan position to law enforcement position to grandfather position to husband position. What are you going to put on the table for us to be reminded of?
I just want to remind them that respect influence behavior, and it's consistent. I don't want them to think it's just something that you want to respect every now and then, but it's influence your behavior. And if I could teach them and I could show them how this respect influence your behavior, because at the end of the day, I always tell them respect remains even when authority is gone. I mean, you can't even, even as you grow up, as you was a young man in high school or whatever, you were respected by all your peers. You left high school, you don't become grown. You're in the workforce now, but you come back and look at it, when your peers see you again, they're gonna still respect you. Unless you done turn a whole 90 degree and went the wrong direction, which I don't think they would lose that respect, but you still will have that respect. I'll let them know, hey, respect gonna take you a long ways.
Yes.
It can extend, it will extend your life.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it not only extend your life, it will take you places that you hadn't been before.
Yeah.
And help you achieve your goals, mindset, your personality, and your love for one another. So I'm gonna stop it right there.
I love it. I love it. Coach Dr. Woodburn, talk to us.
Okay, I'm gonna be short and brief. What I would say was, and I want them to leave with this, that there's a whole lot of different levels of respect, and you must learn, and you should learn the different degrees, the different levels, the different things that comes with respect. And you're going to get respect differently from different people. Everything is not going to be the same. And their meaning of respect is probably going to be different from what I'm saying, different from what you probably heard before. And you have to know the ins and out of respect, not just actually receiving it, but giving it as well. But you would have to know the different levels and what goes into giving respect and what goes into getting out of respect. So, I mean, respect may sound like an easy word, but it's a lot that comes with it, because I mean, a lot of people take things totally different, than other people. So I would say that do you know what respect is, or what is your meaning of respect? What do you feel like you should get out of respect? How do you give respect? So respect it's like I say, it's a very big word. And, a lot of people, they step on that word. They use it as a punchline. They really, really don't know, exactly what respect is. And being that we have been around, and I'm talking about all of us as young men, because we are young men. We've been around for a while. We've dealt with different levels of respect. We dealt with different people and how they come at us with respect and how they want us to come back and give them respect. So it's a very wide range of what they have to learn and what they must do, because respect is not just saying, okay, I respect you, but how do you respect me? How do you show your respect? How do you receive respect? So it's like I said, it's not a small word. It's something that goes much deeper than what we're talking about. Go much deeper.
Let me throw this in there. I was reading a documentary lately of, it was actually something online, and this guy is a boxer and this girl is a boxer, and apparently he's a top boxer and she's a top boxer, and they said, it's a loose number, don't hold me to the number, but it was something like, you'll get $10 million if you fight her. And he says, I respect women too much to hit a woman. So you can't give me $20 million, $30 million, or $40 million to fight a woman.
Right.
He says, that's the way I view my dealings with women. I respect women enough. I will not hit a woman, even if it's so-called professionally. What's your view to young men watching us today with this whole respect the woman, respect your woman, respect women? Talk to us, Dr. Levette.
Man, respecting women is the utmost key, because one thing we have to always understand, and it's always been true, is that we have more power than most women. We have more power physically than them, and then sometimes our tone is more. We have that more manly, that more manly tone that also causes intimidation. So I think growing up, one thing about because we're not to treat women any kind of way. They wasn't put on this earth to be treated any kind of way. They was put on this earth to be able to, when we even hear the term help me, if you married, your wife is your help me. If you growing up, like I wasn't allowed to hit my sisters growing up, even if they hit me. I was not allowed to hit my sisters. I had to go and tell my mom, because if I hit one of my sisters, then my daddy was going to snatch me up. That's just the way it was. So I learned the respect in my home then. But what we see a lot of times is that now that you got young men who they're growing up in a home, and I got to go real hard and transparent with this, because there's a lot of young men who grow up in single mother homes and they see their mom being beaten by a man. And some of them develop and take on that same, they think that that's the way I get a woman to do what I tell them to do, to be what I want them to be, whatever. And that is not the way. And so when they see that, some of them, they do one or two things. They either grow up and they really have a bad disposition with men, or they really have a bad disposition with women. Because they would, sometimes people will reenact what they been seeing all their life, because they think that if a young man saw this guy beat his mom, but his mom conferred and did what he wanted to do, he might take that the other way and say, well, hey, that's the way you get them to do it. Hey, you get the women to do it. So, but respecting women is I taught my son, I taught any other young man, my nephews, I always gave them that, hey, you respect the woman. You respect her and give her the utmost respect, because women are classy and, delicate and precious. So we don't abuse or mistreat those that being women, we don't mistreat them. So that's kind of my take on it.
Mm-hmm.
Good stuff. Dr. Wilborn.
Yes, sir.
Guy says, hey, the girl, she squared off at me. And I ain't no punk. What do you say to that dude? And you're a coach. Hey, we respect women. We don't hit women. How do you express that to that kid when everyone looking at him and he is letting the crowd rile him on?
Right. What I would tell him is this, first of all, put that woman that you per se are having problems with, put your mother in this place, put your sister in this place. Would you want somebody to do that to your mom? Would you want somebody to do that to your sister? And Secondly, I would tell them just like this, just like Dr. Levette said, you know, women are classy or whatever. And if you have to, and if this woman is antagonizing you and dealing with you, then stay away from her. You know what I'm saying? Or let somebody know about that, because you do have women that do that. You know, they would get in your face, they would push you, they would antagonize you and stuff like that. And if you're dealing with that type of woman, then it's toxic. And if it's toxic, get out of that. Yeah. Get away from it and the whole 9 yards. But I'm just like Dr. Levette. You know, don't put your hand on a woman. Do not touch a woman.
So,
you know?
so respect yourself to leave if you have to leave if she ain't classy. That's what I'm hearing.
Hey.
Right.
hey, if she can't appreciate your respect, leave.
That's
right.
It goes.
Provoke you, leave.
Deacon Dan, you know, you've been in law enforcement. The fella said, man, listen, she ran up on me and I hit her. And you're like, no, man, it's unacceptable. You know, how do you navigate this whole high tension dynamics, which a lot of people are dealing with? Let me tell you something. We say the rule of engagement is, but a lot of people don't have the development side of themselves to know how to walk away. Coping mechanism. Right. Enough to keep your mouth shut, keep your hands down, and eventually leave the room if necessary. What do you say? You've been in law enforcement. You've heard those calls. My wife says whenever it's raining, snowing, and people are locked in the house, people don't do well with each other. So I know in law enforcement, you've gone to a lot of homes where the tension was high and you saw something broken on the ground. What do you say to the guy who needs to hear, we don't hit women, man, we respect women?
Well, you know, one of them that sticks with me all the time, I was just sitting in my unit and across the street from a, I guess, nightclub, bar, or whatever you want to call it. And the guy, I kept seeing the lady walking behind the guy. And he kept telling her, leave me alone now, leave me alone. He kept walking on, walking away, walking along. And she became consistent walking behind her. So he turned around and hit her. Well, I walked over there to her, why you hit her? I kept telling her, leave me alone. I said, but wasn't you walking away? Yeah. I said, why you had to turn around and hit her? I just kept telling her, leave me alone. Well, she wasn't bothering you. She was talking. You can let her talk. Let her talk. And as the other guy said, walk away. You know, that's what they got to do, walk away. I watched an officer in training at what we call the back door, that's the jail, had a female, and he was in training, and he literally, he started hitting the young lady, and he's an officer in training. So, you know, he's that long. He didn't make his training. He'd come out of training because he was hitting a young lady. And the thing about it, I don't care how, my dad always told me, I don't care how mad they make you. I don't care what they do to you. They can hit you, but don't hit them.
Wow.
Because you can handle the pain where they cannot. You are you the weaker or you the strongest? When God made you, he made you the strongest. He made you over all things. He gave you the woman for a helpmate, as Dr. Whitman had, Dr. Levette had said. But you don't hit a woman. You don't have to hit a woman. You know, I always look at it, you could diffuse an argument, as to say, walk away. Or I tell you another way you can really diffuse an argument, just start laughing. You know, just laugh at the situation. Yeah, let them come toward. Just laugh at them. And eventually they'll get mad. They'll quit.
Yeah, they will. They get mad too.
Yeah, they'll get mad, but they'll quit.
Watch this.
You know, there's ways. I always tell them there's ways you can do. You know, there's several ways you can do different things and just do it. But the biggest thing is you. Who's the bigger? You or them? Well, you can walk away from it. I think you done achieve your goal by not putting your hands on one. Although she done push you to your limit, you don't still have to go after.
There is a silent behavior that is prevalent in a lot of communities, and the word leaks out. And this is, we're going to twist this up a little bit because I want to give some of our women a lesson here from you guys. He don't respect women. The woman hears that. What are the telltale signs that a guy doesn't respect women? And give me your individual view. Because see, guys, you got to realize this. If you're doing these behaviors, you don't respect women, right? And women, if the guys are doing these things, they don't respect women. Okay? So I'm gonna start with you, Dr. Levesque, because I know you got daughters. I know you know your daughter. Hey man, if a guy, this, he don't respect women. I like him, Dad. Listen, I'm telling you, this dude don't respect no women. What are some of those things, Dr. Levesque?
Well, one of the first things I used to tell my girls is watch how he would talk to his mom. Watch how he talked to his mama. Even watch how he talked to his sisters, his aunties, anybody that's adult women in his family. Watch how he talked to them, and go one step farther. Watch how he talked to his cousins that's females, because and how he treat them, because that's a start right there. Yeah. If a guy don't respect his mother, he probably definitely ain't gonna respect you. Mm-hmm. So that's one of the main things I always say. Watch how he treat his mother. Another thing is, if he avoids coming to talk to me, then he's a problem, because he probably know I'm gonna peep him out. I'm gonna see what's going on with him. And so that was one of the things. And and I always told my daughters that if a guy don't he show respect for you, he should be able to do the things that you saw me doing for your mom. I still to this day open the door for my wife.
Come on.
I open the door when my wife goes. I open the door. I run in the rain and get out in the rain and run around and open her door. While I came around and picked her up while she dry, I still get out in that rain and run around and open the door. But those type things that he got to show you so much love, and he got to regard you in such a way that that she feels so special. And I ain't talking about just buying a lot of expensive gifts and things, because sometimes it ain't even the expensive gifts. It's little things that you do. Sometimes I can just buy my wife some peanut M&Ms and that she loves that. It ain't got to be that I went and bought her went to Tiffany's and bought her a bracelet. So it's all respect from a man. If he don't respect her, if he don't show her love, if he can't treat her as good as he treat his mama, then she don't need to be with him. So I'll leave it there. I'll let them guys, because I know they got some different perspectives.
Coach Wilborn, listen, Coach Wilborn, you're coaching these kids. They're in the locker room, these all boys, and they say, I like this one, and you're like, hey. But then you walk outside and the cheerleading girls are talking, and they say, Coach Wilborn, she like this one. You like, hey, that boy don't respect women. What are the indicators in your view that made you feel, as the respected man that you are, to label a guy not respectable to women?
Well, I'm going to tell you, that goes back a long way, because we're talking about even when I was coming up, I played basketball, ran track when I was in high school, whatever. And, you have these guys that's out there, talking about the different women they want to get, the different women that like them, and the whole 9 yards. If you got a guy that's actually going around talking about certain females and stuff like that, that right there is a red flag. That's a red flag, because if he's talking about her, then you already know he's running his mouth about somebody else. That right there is a sign of disrespect, right there. And I see that a lot, especially with these kids that I'm coaching now. I hear, and it goes both ways, not just the female, but just and just the guy, but both. But we're talking about guys right now. So we're talking about guys. If you got guys talking about, hey, blank, 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 I did this the other night, blank, 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 this girl did this, blank, 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 and the whole 9 yards, then that right there is out the window. They're definitely disrespecting the female, and that right there it's a big sign when you got guys talking about other girls in the whole 9 yards. Because if they really respected them, they'll keep whatever happened, whatever they did, to themselves.
Come on.
That's how I look at it.
Come on. Yeah. Hey, red flag. Those fellas are talking.
Automatic.
Deacon Dan, talk to us. Listen, man, this guy is no good. And now, listen, I'm very curious. I wonder if there's any y'all had to say that at any time to a niece, to a cousin, to a, like, hey man, I'm a guy. I'm gonna tell you right now, I ain't gonna hate on no guys, but there are some guys who don't understand how to respect a woman. What are an indicator or two from you, Deacon Dan?
Well, Dr. Wilburn took everything I had. So I add a few to the vet, then put 2 things there for me. We talking about respect.
Yeah.
If they don't respect that young lady, they're not good for her.
Right.
And I mean, it's just like the vet opened the door. We have guests, the female. I get on them. I have to open the door. That's how I was brought up.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care who they are. My daughter, I open the door for her. We go in the car, I open the doors. And I tell them, nope, don't touch that door until I get there.
Yeah.
But no, you have that, and the vet talk about, when you talk about a young lady, that's another big red flag right there. So, the only thing I can add, when a guy has a bad attitude, and he's a fighter, you better walk away from him.
Wow.
That's a red flag. That's definitely a red flag. If they has a bad attitude, because we had one where we had to go out, and the young lady's mother told them to come inside because she didn't want to sit on the porch. This young man actually started fighting the mother. But one of the guys that went on the call was a pastor. It took everything in the world for him not to jump on this guy. But those red flags when the guy has especially the guy has a bad attitude, disrespect, don't know how to talk to the young lady, don't know how to talk to your parents. No, he's not good for you.
Woo! So gentlemen, as we get ready to close, I got a hot one. This is a hot stone. I'm gonna throw this one out there for you guys. Okay? Girl meets guy and they're going out for dinner, and the guy says, we're gonna split the bill. We're going to split the bill. Come on. Dr. Levant, I'm curious to know. Listen, was respect given, respect earned, or respect lost? And explain to us this whole concept of you take the girl out and we go in Dutch, we splitting the bill. As a man, what do you see in that term respect? Do you interpret that to have some healthy elements to it, or some cautionary concerns? Earned, given, or lost respect? Dr. Levant.
I think in that it's lost. I'm gonna tell you why, because I was always taught if you're dating, it's up to us. When we're dating, we're the pursuers. So if part of you pursuing a woman and you really like her, one of the first ways you show her that you're willing to take care of her is by you're paying for that dinner. You paying for that dinner because you asked her out. If you asked her out, then you pay for the dinner. Why you ask her out and then you're gonna say we going Dutch? That don't even make sense to me. And even if she asked you out, even if she said I want to go out with you, normally you're gonna be the one to say, well, okay, I'll come and pick you up. We're gonna go to this restaurant. What you gonna say then? Well, you asked me out, so you gotta pay. No, you pay. I just listen. I'm just saying that's a loss.
Hey.
She gonna already see that she gonna think you cheat.
Hey, Dr. Wilbur is laughing like he did that back in the day, man. So sound like Dr. Wilbur did that back in the day and told that lady, hey man, we gonna split this.
Well, some people say Some people say they feeling it out. I'm feeling the relationship. We just starting out. We just filling the relationship out. So you pay your way, I pay my way. But I always just felt like if I like her and I'm trying to woo her, because that's what we supposed to do. We wooing her. If you gonna woo her, woo her. If you don't woo her, then she might, like I said, she gonna walk away thinking either you cheat or he ain't no good because he ain't even want to pay for my dinner.
Wow. Come on, Dr. Wilbon, do you pay the bill, man, or you just hey, you split the bill?
Hey, if I'm broke, man, she can go and fit the bill.
That's insane.
I'm just playing. I was laughing because I seen Coach Ricardo was sitting there laughing. So I was laughing because I'm gonna tell you like this. Me personally, if they wanted to pay for the bill, I wouldn't let them do it. I'm being honest. I would actually do it. Even if they asked, hey, you want to split this? And I'm like, nah, I'm going to go ahead and do that because that's just how I was raised and how I was brought up. And I think that is the right thing to do, to make sure you do that, So, and I was laughing about it because nowadays, a lot of these females, they don't want you to pay anyway because they feel like you want something in return. So a lot of them like, hey, look, you pay for yours, I'm going to pay for mine. We'll go Dutch or whatever. But that's the world we're living in now. But coming up, no. When you take somebody out, you should fit the bill. As a man, you should fit the bill no matter what the deal is. So I agree with Dr. Levette with that, when it comes to fitting the bill. I was just laughing about it because I know when I was coming up, I had instances where females was like, you know what, we're going to go Dutch. We'll go ahead and go Dutch. And back then, I ain't had no money. So I was like, okay.
You had to save yourself, Dr. Weirman.
You want to save me $40.
Save me $40, So, but on the real though, I think that you should fit the bill, be the man, take care of it, and move on from there.
As we get. No, that's so good. As we go over to Deacon Dan, I totally agree with both of you gentlemen. One of the things that I've been teaching some of the young men that I mentor is, hey, if you want to pay the bill and you cannot pay the bill because you can't afford it, then don't go to P.F. Chang's. Don't go to the steakhouse. Go ahead and say, hey, man, listen, I just want to sit down and spend some time with you. We're going to go to Chick-fil-A and we're going to... you know what I'm saying? And we're going to enjoy ourselves with a nice conversation. You get the lemonade. They're going to refill that thing up for free. You know what I mean? And any combo you want, you could have. You know what I mean? But Deacon Dan, the term respect on that whole element, there's a lot to be said. What's your view?
Well, on my view is if the guy want to go Dutch, he want her, want her to go Dutch. He don't have no respect for money. In other words, he's out of money. He like they said, he shouldn't even ask her to go out.
Right.
If I'm gonna take you to Ruth Chris or Prime 14 or something like that,
he talking about big money.
Hey, I got the bill.
Yeah, right.
I got the bill, and I ain't got to be looking for nothing.
Come on.
I'm taking you out because I want to enjoy your company.
That's right.
And not necessarily, because that happens a lot. I've seen it happen to a lot of people.
Yeah. Hey, listen, as we get ready to close, man, I enjoyed this conversation. I can remember, I'm going to give you a closing thoughts on respect in a minute. Karen and I went out for our first date, and I took her to this nice Three Forks 5-star restaurant. And Dr. Levette, I felt great. You know what I mean? The VIP parking and everything. And I was like, I ordered under a particular category. I was taught, you watch what the person ordered first, who's going to pay the bill. So you try to stay in that category. Well, she ordered this nice steak that was so much more than what I ordered, but she didn't touch it much. And I'm telling you, I was sitting down there. If she don't put the to go with that plate, listen, this gonna be the last date right here because if she leave that steak on that plate, listen, we ain't gonna talk. Gentlemen, please give me your closing remarks. We're talking respect today. This is Build Your Best Life, ladies and gentlemen. This is Conversation with the Guys. We want to help young men to understand the rules of life when it comes to basic engagement for doing life well. And so, Dr. Levesque, your closing thought: respect, given, earned, and or lost.
I'm gonna be real quick and brief. I'm gonna go back to the scripture I said at the beginning. To whom much is given, much is required. If you want respect given, then, and if you require respect, then you have to give it. And if you're giving it, then you should also be requiring it. You should also expect it. So when you find yourself in a position where a person is not respecting you, then that's a red flag for you to kind of, leave that person alone. Mm-hmm. If you're showing respect but you're not getting it, they leave that person alone, especially from that degree. So right. I would just say, to whom much is given, much is required. If you want it, wow. if I'm gonna give it, then I should expect it be required.
Wow. So you're saying somewhat a big part of respect is knowing when to walk away. Respect, absolutely. Yeah, the ability to walk away, be it from an antagonizing person or even just a person who choose not to display to you what you appreciate, but walking away is power. Coach Wilborn, what do you say to us in closing?
I would say in closing that respect is a two-way street. It's not a one-way street. Don't feel like people owe you and you don't owe them. I mean, if you want, it's right there. If you want respect, you got to give respect. And, respect goes in different levels, so my thing is be mindful what you do, be mindful what you say, understand, what's coming at you, and be mindful what you put out to other people. But respect is a big word. And in order to get it, you must give it. And I'll tell that to any, young man, young lady, anybody that, want to know about this. And with this conversation, I think that we put out layers and, great information, both ways, whether it comes to give it or whether it comes to getting it. So, give it. If you want it, give it.
It's so good. Deacon Dan?
Well, I'm going to put it like this. Respect is not noise. It's not intimidation. Respect is built daily through discipline, integrity, humility, and consistency. A respected man does not chase validation. He builds character. So I'm going to leave it right there.
So good. So good. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been Conversation with the Guys. Build Your Best Life. Join us next month, same time, same place. Listen, if you're watching and you enjoyed this, share it on your WhatsApp, your Facebook, your Instagram, your LinkedIn. Text somebody who has a son and say, these guys are talking about respect. And a lot of times, young men aren't hearing these conversations. So you got a teenage young man, he's washing the dishes, played on the TV, and let the whole house hear the conversation, because little nuggets being said at the appropriate time can have a long-lasting effect on the development of a young man or a woman's view of man. And so thank you so much. Listen, guys, I want to encourage you. Build Your Best Life is a nonprofit organization. You could support this platform by going to the website and ordering the book, Build Your Best Life, or you can become a financial partner. Go ahead and make a commitment to say, you know what, Coach Deborah, I want to give $10 a month. I want to give $25 a month. It will help this platform to keep doing what it does. Coach Deborah has been doing this for more than 7 years, y'all. And believe it or not, most people don't even think about the background side of an organization like this, but it costs to do what she does. And so we want to encourage you to become a partner with Build Your Best Life, get the book and share the content. And that's what will keep a platform like Build Your Best Life around for a long time. God bless you, gentlemen. It was so good. Looking forward to next month. And let me tell you something. Derek, if you're watching, I'll be back next month if you are busy, because I like hanging with these guys. You all have a good day, gentlemen.
You too. Take care.
Take it easy.
Right.